I am so honored, and I mean this deeply, to bring to the stage our president, Dr. Susan Furman. I want to say a couple of words before she joins us. President Susan Furman has been a force at TC for 12 years. As the first female president, she has shattered the glass ceiling and swept the shards of glass away for others to pass. I speak personally when I say that my work at Teachers College, from the Racial Literacy Project to the Civic Participation Project, Dr. Furman has supported me and countless faculty in reaching their research goals and dreams. For the past 3 years, along with Janice Robinson in the Vice President's Office for Diversity and Community Affairs, President Furman, yes, thank you. President Furman has been here with us at this event, supporting you, honoring your legacy, your unity, and your brilliance. We are grateful to have her with us one more year, where we can learn from her this evening, we can hear her share wisdom, encouragement, and words of support. To all of you distinguished TC graduates, if you're able to, please rise and join me in saluting and welcoming with a first-generation welcome, our president, Dr. Susan H. Furman.
Thank you. I am honored. Congratulations, graduates, all of you. Another round of applause. We can't have too many. I find this first-generation celebration so moving. It's a way of honoring and applauding our graduates and the families who have supported them and enabled them and inspired them. But this year feels extra special because it's my last one. I'm stepping down as president next month. And so I've been doing a lot of reminiscing. And when I think back as my own experiences, as the first in my family to earn a college degree, in fact, I may have been the first in my immediate family to earn a high school degree. My parents did not graduate from high school. I'm not positive, that's why I hedged it. I know my mother didn't. My father didn't want to talk about it, so I'm not entirely sure, but I think that may mean he didn't. Yeah, I know, yeah. I can only imagine if they had lived to see me at this moment. I don't think they ever would have imagined. You know, I didn't imagine when I was sitting in your seat, actually literally this was an auditorium 40 years ago, but not nearly as nice. When I was sitting in your seat that long ago when I got my degree here, it never occurred to me that I could come back as president. And, you know, as the first generation student, it made it extra special. So I'm struck all over again by the significance of what everyone in this room has accomplished. Graduates, you are pioneers about to embark on exciting professional and personal journeys that may once have seemed unimaginable, just like mine. Savor this moment because you've earned it. And give yourselves another round of applause. First-generation scholars bring unique, valuable, diverse perspectives to their work and to their relationships with classmates, professors, and mentors. Your contributions to TC have helped carry forward the legacy of cultural and economic diversity that goes back to the college's founding 131 years ago. Grace Dodge founded Teachers College because she wanted to help immigrants adapt to American life, and because she understood that to be able to do that, teachers had to be equipped to meet these new learners on their own cultural turf. The same dedication to culturally responsive education inspires Teachers College today. We believe in teaching by building on what each learner knows, and we believe in the power of education to help solve society's most pressing problems. And your families instilled those values in you, not only to better yourselves through education, but also to use the knowledge, tools, and skills you have gained at TC to better the world. So let's give our families a round of applause for setting you on the path. You'll hear throughout today's ceremony letters of thanks from students to their parents, partners, and other family members. You'll hear students recall the people who were always there to listen, day or night, who are always ready to provide wise counsel and moral support, and who always reminded them that they have what it takes to make a difference. Graduates, we know the world is in good hands because we've already seen who you are and what you can accomplish. You are the innovators, the scholars, the leaders who will bring honor to your professions, progress to your communities, hope to the world, and reflected glory on Teachers College, too. You are the ambassadors that will represent us to the world, and we are so confident of what you will contribute in the future. Our heartfelt congratulations to everyone in this room. Thank you.
I'm happy to be back. I am so happy to bring some warm greetings to you, and I just want to take in this moment with you and let you take in the moment with yourselves. You taking it in? It is beautiful. So my name is Yolanda Seeley Ruiz. I'm an associate professor of English education at Teachers College, and I greet all of you in love and in appreciation for what you have done for these distinguished graduates and what you will continue to do for them as they go out into the world and make a difference. In an era where it is becoming more challenging for poor students, for students of color to obtain a college degree, the feat that these graduates have accomplished in earning an advanced degree must be applauded. And you, yeah, I heard the whoop. Well, and you, the families, the friends, the chosen family, the support networks, it would have not been possible without you. For without you, this group of first-generation scholars would have not made it. In your hearts, you know this to be true because you can name the sacrifices that you made to get them to this point. And graduates, you know that this is true as well because of their love, because of their belief in you, their financial and some emotional support. That has been the wind beneath your wings. Indeed, education seeks to level the playing field and create balance of opportunities for those who have bear the brunt of inequality and inequity. Education, love, and sacrifice of family helped me to become the first-generation PhD in my family. It is indeed my goal that I will not be the last. When I reflect on educational spaces, and particularly college campuses, I think back specifically to protests by Black students across the country. Historically and even now, I think even about the students in Puerto Rico, not even a year ago, who walked off of their college campuses refusing to attend classes as an act of resistance to what was happening on the island and to the island of Puerto Rico. As much as they knew and understood the power of education, they were willing to give it up if it meant that they could bring about change to the island. Woke students of color and woke white students, they have used their resistance against the status quo to make change throughout history. And those of you here at TC, you are no different. You may not have battled the same type of wars that students have in the 1960s and 70s and recent times, but you recognize that you are going out with your degree in hand into a society that needs your resistance to the status quo, requires your vision for a world perhaps that you have not yet seen. With your degree in hand and your resistance, you must understand, and I think you do understand, it is the only hope to bring about change to institutions and to societies, particularly in education and in healthcare and in policy for children who look like you and who have backgrounds from which you come. As people of color in particular, we have always understood community. We have been community-oriented. We've never really been individualistic. We have been socially driven to work collectively for the betterment of ourselves and for humanity. I want to remind all of you to love one another. When your brother or sister is successful, bask in that as a community achievement. When your brother or sister is down, lift them up. Remind them that you come from greatness wrapped in fortitude. And through this greatness, you will survive and you will thrive. And always remember that it is your responsibility to each other and to your communities and the world that we, at this moment, call home to bring your true and your full selves. You are as real as you are magical. And we thank you for the magic that you brought to TC. Today, this ceremony feels like pure magic. And I want to thank all of you for all that you've done. And if I've taught you, I'm particularly grateful to you because I know that I have learned from you. I want you to think deeply about the communities that are waiting for you, not to save them, but to serve them. I want you to think about your family experiences and what your parents, your partners, your children have sacrificed for you to be here, and to remember that you are not here on your own. In closing, I want to once again salute you. I salute you, graduates. I salute your support networks. I thank you all for the great work that you will carry out in communities that call you to serve, and indeed, you will leave your mark on those communities just as you have left your mark here because of your presence, and you know that it has not been easy, but because of your presence, TC is a richer, more diverse, and wonderful space. Thank you for all that you have given to us. There are times that we are often not deserving of the grace that you have given. It is now my pleasure to introduce the director of TC's. Thank you for that, y'all. Y'all should be standing for yourselves, yes. It is my pleasure to introduce the director of TC's Dean Hope Center for Educational and Psychological Services, Dinela Rosa. Dr. Rosa's career has taken her from being a first-generation college graduate student to becoming the New York State Psychological Association first president of color. Recognizing early on that the needs of multicultural and bilingual clients were not being met in traditional clinical practice, she became a prominent counselor to Latinx families and a leading advocate for culturally sensitive therapy. Under Dr. Rosa's leadership, the Dean Hope Center has earned an esteemed place at TC, where Dr. Rosa coordinates the training of counseling and clinical psychology students who are dedicated to serving diverse communities. The center is also cherished through Northern Manhattan for providing affordable, high-quality mental health services for individuals, couples, and families of all backgrounds. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Dinela Rosa.
What a pleasure for me to be here today with this wonderful group that, like Dr. Furman mentioned, it reminds me, brings me back to memories of when I was in that seat. Today, I've been asked to read some of the notes of some of the graduates, so that's what I'm going to do. And then after that, I'm going to share a little bit of my story, like if I was writing a note as well. So I'm going to start with this very nice line, which is poquito a poquito salimos adelante. Little by little, we move forward. So here's the first note. The pursuit of my degree has been one of the most challenging and spiritually rewarding journeys I have been on. I often reflect to when I was a child and all of this was just a dream. It's crazy now to see that my dreams turn into a beautiful reality. Second note, the road has been long and hard, but also filled with joy, laughter, and memories. Thank you to my family and friends for being so patient with me throughout my time in this program. I appreciate you all for being so understanding when I was unable to spend time with you on the weekends while I was busy completing assignments. I also eternally grateful for your constant love and support and for cheering me on and helping me get throughout the rough times when I was filled with self-doubts. Next note. Thank you, everyone in my program and at TC for giving me some of the most edifying and enjoyable moments in my life. You have all been there to congratulate me throughout my academic journey. And the last one. There is no doubt that I stand on the shoulders of those who have come before me. Today is my turn to honor all of you and thank you for your continued support. Applause for that special group. Now I'm going to share a little bit of my story. I am the oldest child of a family of 4. My father and my mother didn't achieve an education. My mother had a high school. My father didn't. My mother was the oldest of 10, and my father was the oldest of 6 with him. So at that time, my father went to 9th grade, and the expectation was that he needed to go to work to help the family, and the same thing with my mother. I have 14 aunts and uncles, none of whom completed a college education. I was the first member in my family and my generation to pursue graduate work. The journey was hard. It is hard when you do not have a role model close to home. I learned to seek models on my path. The journey created some fears. Will my achievements distance me from my loved ones? Will they be able to understand that I chose this journey because of the values they instill in me? Will they understand that I am who I am today because of all the gifts they gave me? Love, wisdom, courage, persistence, and many other gifts that I could go on and on mentioning here. When I look back and I see that those values helped me along the way, I realize that my family walked with me the journey. I was never alone. Then I realized that my achievements are theirs to celebrate. They walked the journey with me. Today, I can proudly say that most of my 36 cousins have completed college, education, and the journey goes on and on. Thank you.
Peace, everyone. What's going on? I believe my family, my community, deserve the best version of me. I'm going to say that again. I believe that my family and my community deserve the best version of me. So when my wife said to me that I didn't marry an average person for you to be average, and when I got accepted into that PhD program, I have to thank her. So my wife, please stand up, show your face. Thank you. Thank you for putting yourself to the side so I can be up here today. This New Year's Eve, my mother was diagnosed with stage 1 stomach cancer. Anyway, she had her surgery, and I'm proud to say that she is cancer-free, and she is here today as well. I want to tell you all about another great woman in my life. My great-grandmother, Ruby. When she came to this country, early 90s, she couldn't read or write. In fact, is she used to write her name with an X. She loved magazines. She loved to just stare at them for hours. She couldn't read them. So she would encourage my mother and my grandmother to read to her and tell her what's going on as her form of own reader response. My grandmother, she used to bring home tracing books so she could learn how to write her name. And at the age of 65, my great-grandmother, she wrote her name for the first time. I say this story to say that if it wasn't for the sacrifices of those that came before me, I know I wouldn't be here today, and I'm sure that you all can relate to that, all of the sacrifices. So I want to do a quick poem for those sacrifices, dedicated to you all. Sounds good? Yes. Now, I speak pretty loud, so I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Excellent. Can you hear me? Good? Yes. Flames like the memories of our past, our history, our scars, our reminders that were meant to last, our past hours, reincarnated back to haunt. Flames like our struggles, our lessons, our shepherds that we shall not want. Before iPods, we had MP3s. Before MP3s, we had CDs. Before CDs, we listened to cassette tapes, and before we used rotating blinds, we walked through beaded drapes. You remember those days? Flames like the memories of our past, our history, our scars, our reminders that were meant to last, our past hours, reincarnated back to haunt. Flames like our struggles, our lessons, our shepherds that we shall not want. Before Nintendo DS, there was SP. Before SP, we played Game Boy Advance. Before I realized what they were doing, I knew that Sega didn't stand a chance. Before Dave Chappelle, there was Eddie Murphy. Before Eddie Murphy, we laughed at Richard Pryor. Before we even had a chance to speak, we were all labeled liars. Before I could work, before I had a job, I was presented with money. Before we broke out the Robitussin, we mixed up what? Lemon and honey. You remember those days? Flames like the memories of our past, our history, our scars, our reminders that were meant to last, our past hours, reincarnated back to haunt. Flames like our struggles, our lessons, our shepherds that we shall not want. And before all of that, it was us. Before cell phones, before beepers, before I placed my feet in name brand sneakers, it was us. So you know what, I wrote like I was a member of that group, but I spoke. When I spoke, I was their leader. With my right hand, I fed them knowledge. That's why they call me the mind feeder. You see, we move like our hands that move like us. Before the lies, before being deceived, there was once a thing called trust. You know what I wrote? Like I was a member of that group, but I spoke. When I spoke, I was their leader. With my right hand, that's WRITE hand, I fed them knowledge. That's why they call me the mind feeder. Before hopes and dreams, there was ambition. So you know what I wrote with the fires that sparked my dreams? I wrote with the fires of my befores and afters. I wrote from my pain and my memories of laughter. Before and after, like cause and effect, like consequence and repercussion, like choosing the path. Now how many daggers are at my neck? So you know what I wrote? Like us, but I spoke like them. And only my befores and afters knew me. I said I wrote like us, but I spoke like them. And only my befores and afters knew me. You see, I wrote with the fires that beats my heart. I wrote for the people who were there from the start. I wrote and I'm still writing because I'm still a member of that group, and I never forgot, because after my struggle I was presented with glory, and after I picked up a pen, I wrote my story. Before cell phones, before beepers, before I placed my feet in name brand sneakers, there was and there will always be us, my befores and my afters. Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to bring up the next speaker. Next up is going to be Professor Noah Dresman, Associate Professor in the Department of Higher Education.
Thank you, Kat. I am not sure how I picked the short stick to go after that. Wow, I hope that was recorded because that was just absolutely amazing. So thank you. I was asked to talk about the people. It is the people who support us, our families of birth and our chosen families, that often make a difference in our ability to attend college and graduate school and to sustain ourselves to make it to the end. 22 years ago, as my father drove me to college, I began to get nervous. Did I make the right decision? Was I going to be able to make it on my own? Would I ever be able to make any friends? As we got closer, I remember asking him if he could extend his hotel reservation by a few days so he could bring me home if I wanted to give up. Having not gone to college, but having full confidence in me, my father replied, "Of course, I will be there for you, but I'm sure that you will be able to do this." How did he know? I'm not sure that he did. But he did, and still does, have the confidence and love of a father in me. It is boundless. When we arrived at my residence hall and unloaded the car, I was one of the first freshmen to move in, a day before the rest were set to arrive. All these years later, I can't remember why I was moving in early. However, it was meant to be because I met a person that was going to change my college experience in a very important way. My hall was empty except for a very happy sophomore named Anna, who was decorating a bulletin board outside one of the rooms. She helped us with my boxes and luggage, and then went back to her work as my father and I went to grab dinner. A few minutes after I returned to my room and my father said goodnight, Anna appeared at my door to ask if I wanted to hang out and to get to know her and a few of her friends. This was a turning point for me. You see, in elementary and in high school, I did not have many friends. I was often bullied. No one really wanted to spend time with me outside of class or set activities. That night, Anna became my first friend in college. She introduced me to others, and many of them became my friends too. Anna was the person who brought me out of isolation. She helped me find my sense of belonging in college. She was there to answer my silly questions and give me advice I did not even know I needed to know. My father is the person whose love and confidence in me overshadowed his capacity to give me advice on how to navigate college, selection of courses, the workload, and all the rest. He just knew he needed to be there for me. Many of our birth and chosen family members might not fully understand what we are studying or hope to do with our degrees. Yet they are here with us in person or in our hearts, celebrating all of your accomplishments this evening. My father, 22 years since I started college, and now, after I just completed my first decade as a professor, still does not fully know what I do. Yet, earlier this semester, he insisted on sitting in on my classes to see me teach. And for years, he clipped newspaper articles for me, and now for my husband, on topics he thinks we research, or thinks we should research. Just yesterday, I arrived home to literally a 10-pound bag of clippings from the past month. The semester ended, and he gave me some summer reading. These two people supported me in two very different ways. One is part of my family of birth. The other very quickly became part of my chosen family. Each of us here, no matter what our details of our personal stories, have these people in our lives that make a difference, that give us confidence to succeed, that worked extra hours to help us pay the bills, that were a phone call away at any hour to say, I love you, you got this, or to ask, what can I do to help? In your own words, here is what you had to say about those special people that helped you get to don the Geordie Blue regalia. Yes, that is the official name of the color you're wearing this evening, the Geordie Blue regalia this evening. Who knew that I'd be here today earning an advanced degree from an Ivy League institution, Columbia University? You knew. You, all the faculty and staff who are both rigorous and kind. You never let me give up. Even when I wanted to. Thank you for teaching me how to push through and stand in my power. We did it. You, all my family and friends, have supported me in this journey. Mom, Dad, I watched you get up before the sun came up to go to work. I saw you go to stores, but never buy anything for yourself. You constantly went without, so you could afford to finance my random, wild dreams that I had. Thank you for being a shoulder to cry on. Thank you for being brave when I couldn't be. Thank you for being there for me. My family, there's not one day that I have entered this world without you. You walk with me in every space, every classroom, every meeting. You remind me of where I came from and how far I've come. You see me. You love me. You teach me. You walk with me, and you always will.
Hi everyone, hola a todos. Mi nombre es Daniela Conde Cortés y este es un mensaje de un estudiante. This is a message from a student. Familia, gracias por tu apoyo durante todos estos años y aunque no ha sido fácil con la distancia, siempre han podido decirme todas las cosas que necesito escuchar durante mis tiempos difíciles. Gracias por ser el pilar fundamental que me ha llevado a alcanzar estos sueños. Estas pocas palabras no son suficientes para demostrar todo lo que significan para mí, pero sepan que todo lo hago por ustedes. Gracias.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Hernandez, or Ellie, and it is an honor to have the opportunity to share some words with my fellow first-generation graduates, loved ones, and the TC community. Being the first often implies a lonely journey, and in my case, the truth is in the numbers. In 2016, 0.06% of all earned doctorates were by Latinx students. At many points throughout my time at TC, I doubted whether I could finish, whether I was good enough to be here. I was pursuing a topic with little existing research, and I worried if my specialization in undocumented immigrant mental health would limit my career choices. I had few mentors who looked like me, who lived what I lived through, much less knew anything about my topic. I had even less peers who understood the magnitude of my presence and what it would mean if I finished. I worried about the family I left behind as I became the first of my 51 cousins to leave the state, much less move across the country. During my time at TC, I lost my paternal grandmother, my godfather, and recently, my father. I also met my life partner, got married, and had a son. Once I defended my dissertation and officially became a doctor, I sat in disbelief and reflected on my journey. I wondered if any of my ancestors had these feelings as they navigated new and oppressive spaces. My ancestors were the original braceros, temporary migrant workers, recruited from Mexico to be farm workers. My great-grandparents and grandparents' labor opened educational and vocational doors for their children and grandchildren. My grandparents and parents settled permanently in the US, facing the harsh transition from Mexico at a time when US citizens were being deported, and immigrants changed their names from Juan to John, and Valenzuela to Valence to survive. Their rights were constantly changing, their worth always determined by those in power. I wondered, did my abuelita Mica, born in the US during one of her parents' migrant trips, doubt herself when she left her 10 children in Mexico? Did she worry? Did she worry? Did she worry that the years of separation would be too high a cost in pursuit of a better life for her family? Was my Nana Julia afraid as she marched with union farm workers in Arizona as Cesar Chavez fasted for her right to strike, and Dolores Huerta coined the infamous phrase, "Si se puede"? Did she question whether protesting was worth the risk of losing her job and her immigration status? When my mother, Olga, left behind her parents and 9 siblings to work as a domestic in Los Angeles, did she have the same doubts about belonging? Being the first often means feeling like an imposter, but something inside of us tells us to do it anyway. I was a high school counselor and became increasingly focused on assisting undocumented students and their families as they navigated the challenging transition into adulthood. As high school graduates, if they graduated, undocumented students were suddenly thrust into the reality of deportation, educational constraints, financial insecurity, and a lack of basic rights. I applied to TC because a Latina vice principal told me I should. She believed in me, and I looked up to her, so I went for it. There was a part of me that had never imagined myself as a doctor, but there was another part of me, a deeper, rooted part, that knew that becoming a doctor was not only possible, but it was a birthright. My mother often reminds me of the moment she envisioned her unborn children's future. At the age of 17, she had the opportunity to leave farm working to work as a nanny for a UCLA physician and professor. Far from her life in Sonora, Mexico, she found herself on UCLA's campus, where she would often bring the children to visit their father. She imagined her future children there. I not only attended that university for undergrad, I am returning there to work as a psychologist, where I will be known as Doctora Hernandez. My legacy of being the first is one that goes back many generations. Many of my ancestors stood in new places, in scary and uncharted spaces, and pictured themselves there as if they were born to be there. Their dreams, regardless of their scale, guided their actions and inspired future generations to pursue them. They imagined rights they didn't have yet, jobs and degrees that were generations away. And I'm here as proof that it can be done. I only wish my Nana Julia could join my Tata Antonio here today to hear me say, like Dolores once said, "Sí, Nana, sí pude." So I'm here to remind you today, keep imagining yourselves in spaces you have yet to break through. Live your life as if future generations will prosper from your labor, because your ancestors did just that, and here we are. Join me in saying, sí se puede. Gracias.
There's too many things I haven't done yet. There's too many sunsets I haven't seen. I can't waste a day wishing it'd slow down. You would have thought by now I'd learned something. Hey, yeah, yeah. Do 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 do. I made up my mind when I was a young girl. I've been given this one world. I won't worry it away, no. Now and again I lose sight of the good life. I get stuck in the low light. But then love comes in. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, so send me the miles, and I'll be happy to follow you, love. I'll do whatever I can, wherever I end up, to keep giving my good love and spreading it around. 'Cause I've had my fair share of take care and goodbyes. I've learned how to cry, and I'm better for that. Sing, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, so send me the miles, and I'll be happy to follow you, love. Red letter days, I'm in a blue mood, wishing that blue would just carry me away. I've been talking to God, don't know if it's helping or not, but surely something has got to give. I can't keep waiting to leave. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, so send me the miles, and I'll be happy to follow you, love. There's too many things I haven't done yet. There's too many sunsets I haven't seen.
Hi, good evening. My name is Haney Yoon, and I'm an assistant professor in curriculum and teaching. And I wanted to follow up on what Noah said, because after Anderson spoke, I was like, oh, thank God I don't have to go after him. And then Ellie spoke, and I thought, oh, thank God I don't have to go after her. And then the Spark Note sang, and I'm like, oh, great, now I have to go after that, right? So I'm going to start just by sharing collective notes that the 2018 graduates have written and talked about in their time in TC, as well as notes that they wanted to share with their families. So as I read them, I hope you hear your own literal voice in the words that I say, but then also for the rest of us, I think it's our collective shared story as well. So I hope you hear a semblance of your voice in it as well. And then I just wanted to end by sharing a small story about my own history that was really inspired by the words that I saw here. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first note, and it says, I wish all graduating TC students best wishes on all our future endeavors. Now that we've earned these degrees, how will we use them to impact the world in which we live? Our cities with economic shortcomings and unequal access to health resources among my people motivated me to do the work I currently do. As I go forward, I hope this degree will bring me closer to making the changes I want to see in this world. The next note is, whether I was sitting in a classroom in London or teaching in a classroom in Tennessee, I always showed and told people where I was from. I am so honored to be from such a rich and colorful community. And I always want people to know and remember that my community creates scholars too. Thank you for giving me a hometown I can be proud of. I pray I always will represent you well. I hope that I can be an example to my family and my community of how persistence can pay off and how we don't have to lose ourselves to be successful in this world. I hope my example will inspire you to realize you can do anything you want with the vision and drive to accomplish it. Because of what you poured into me, I was able to accomplish this milestone. I hope to return the favor tenfold. These are tough days we are living in, not only for America, but for the world. To be one of the few students of color at TC, I recognize that my presence and completion of the program is not only an achievement for myself, but also a testament to all the sacrifices made by those that came before me. I plan on honoring those sacrifices by being an active member of my community and do what I can to create change in a society where historically we have been and continue to be disenfranchised. I also want to thank all the professors and the TC community for deepening my understanding of the profound inequities embedded in our flawed education system. I leave this program with aspirations of creating environments in both my personal and professional life with a sense of belonging and community for all. University and colleges were not made for us or by us, but that means it is more urgent to infiltrate and change these spaces so that our children and students can have easier and more successful time here. This graduation ceremony is not an ending, but a beginning. Here we come. Okay, so I practiced this next one all day so that I wouldn't mess it up. So it starts with, aquí estamos y no nos vamos. See? We are here and we are not leaving. We are here in academia and in this world. My gosh, here it comes. Creating a collective path where militarized borders don't separate families. Oh my. Where citizenship and being undocumented does not define your humanity. Where we have more liberatory schools and restorative practices than prisons. Where violence against women, especially women of color and trans women, does not exist. Where the LGBTQIA community, especially queer people of color, can live out their truths without fear of discrimination. Where Black Lives Matter, where the rights and dignity of Indigenous people are upheld, where students of color are seen with unlimited potential and brilliance instead of being criminalized and tracked out of our public schools, where there is pedagogy and curriculum that in cities of critical thinking and creativity rather than assimilation and epistemological erasure, where there's more love and equitable policies for the earth and the most marginalized populations in our community. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. We are here and we are not leaving. And as I move forward, and I thank whoever wrote that for doing this to me, so now I'm a mess here. As I move forward, I will respect my roots, honor my heritage, and lift as I climb. I am proud to say that this degree, education, and new future is not only mine, but also proudly yours. I'm gonna share just a short story, so hopefully I'll get through it. And it's about my own personal journey here. So my dad was a mailman for 30 years. My mom also worked in the post office, mostly the night shift, as a desk clerk for almost the same amount of time. They had breaks in between as my parents tried to achieve the American dream. So in this order, my dad was a landlord of a 3-unit apartment building. We owned a coin laundry and a hot dog shop. And when I look back on all that my parents have achieved being immigrants to a new country, it is actually quite impressive because so far, I have not owned anything. I have not done anything for more than 5 years, and I may never own anything living in New York City. But most importantly, I've never had to do a job that I did not want to do in order to survive. I grew up with privilege, and maybe not the kind that others experience, but my parents sacrificed a lot so that I can be here with you today. Sure, we didn't grow up with money, and my parents' response to everything was, we don't have any. And we didn't go to fancy vacations, and my dad actually bought a tent so that we could go to campgrounds during our vacations. But I knew that my parents always had my back, even at times when it didn't feel like it. So as a young kid, I was embarrassed by their atypical cultural ways. They seem so far away from the norm. They didn't speak English very well. My dad would sometimes pick me up in his mailman uniform from school, which I didn't like. And then my bologna sandwich always had a fried egg on it, which was the one weird thing that made it different from everybody else's lunch. And I was always required to bring dumplings or some kind of sushi thing to school for International or Multicultural Day. My parents never chaperoned field trips. My dad worked during the day, my mom worked at nights. They never came to school events. They never talked to my teachers because of the language barriers. They were not the PTA president or in charge of bake sales or organizing the parties. So my parents did not show up to school, but they showed up in so many other ways. And I think I was falsely led to believe that they had to do all those superficial things to prove that they were good caregivers and they cared about my education. So this is really dedicated to all of the parents, grandparents, godparents, surrogate parents, uncles, aunties, cousins, children, teachers, who really worked our asses off to open doors for all of us, right? So this is what brings us together here, sharing our collective stories. And I want to honor this ceremony as a place where we can say that our stories matter, that our atypical ways of being are meaningful and legit. Because I'm going to quote Eve here, which totally dates me. She says, "Living life is so hard, and the people here with you today, or those who are no longer here but present, and those who came before us lived life extra hard so you can be here." So congratulations to the graduates and congratulations to everybody who is in this room, because this is so much a part of your work as much as it is part of the graduates. So thank you.
I need a box of Kleenex, I'm telling you the truth. Thank you. Before we go to one of the most important parts of this, the roll call, I just want to thank all of my colleagues who are here, whom I love, those who were on the stage and who were not on the stage, and your former professors. Please give them a round of applause. And I would also like to thank the staff that's making things happen with music and with video and making sure that all of the names are here. Let's give them a round of applause. And now the moment we've been waiting for, the roll call is what it's all about. And I am honored to call each and every name this evening. And as I do, graduate, I want you to stand and greet the members of your support network who are here with you. And I ask those members to stand as well so they can look you in the eye and you can have your moment together. But before I begin the roll call, I want to read a very short poem. Anderson has inspired me. He inspires me in more ways than one. I want to read a very short poem. So most of you know that I'm from the South Bronx. Is that right? Okay. So if you know that, you also know that is a fact that I'm very proud of. And although it has not been a neighborhood without its challenges, particularly during the late 1980s when I came of age, the South Bronx has a special place in my heart, despite the ways that the world has written it as the forgotten borough in the poorest congressional district in New York. There was and is a richness to the South Bronx, and I lived there during a time really in the aftermath of racist landlords who were burning down their property to collect insurance and move away. They were concerned that too many Blacks and Latinx folks, mostly at that time Puerto Ricanos, were moving in. And when they burned the buildings, what remained were ashes and rubble for decades. So I wrote this poem in the voice of the South Bronx, speaking back to me, but I offer it to all of you who rose from seemingly impossible circumstances, but you are sitting here today. And I never share my work in public. I am a closet poet. You should know that, so this is a big thing for me. Except I did share it on Facebook 2 weeks ago, but okay. Does that count? Okay. I have always held you close, wrapped in my arms of blazing fire and ashes. I knew you before you knew yourself. I saved you when others wanted to throw you back to the ashes from which you rose. Like a phoenix, you came rising and rushing toward the midnight sky. Ask yourself right now, who has been your South Bronx? Many, I am sure, are in this auditorium this evening. And now for the roll call. Curran Abrams. Curran Abrams. Please stand. Find your people. Well, stay where you are. Where are the people of Curran Abrams? Stand up. Yes. Beautiful. Samantha Omaira Akala. Stand. Who are your people? Yes. That's right, snap those photos. And Tia Allen, please stand. And your people, yes, wonderful. Deanna Bergdorf, please stand. Find your people. Ah, right behind you. Jackie Bryan Gooden, please stand, darling. Absolutely. As she carries the next generation. Marisol Cantu. Mari, stand up. Find your people, Mari. Silvano Padilla Casares, find your people, yes. Oh my goodness, the whole auditorium, I love it. I love it. Raul Cervantes, stand and find your people. Lorianne Clementson, stand and find your people. Yes. Daniela Conde, stand and find your people. Can I just say that you're beautiful? This is such a beautiful sight. I wish for all of you to one day be up here to see your beauty. Brandy Davis, stand and find your people. Brandy, I know you're here because there's a card with your name on it. Brandy, did you go to the restroom? Okay, we're gonna hold Brandy. Brittany Davis, stand and find your people. Brittany. Mario Delgado, stand and find your people. I saw them at Joe's Cafe earlier. They were just as happy this afternoon. Chantel Diamond, stand and find your people. Jacqueline Duran, please stand and find your people. Isabella Espinal, stand. Isabella. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. Tiffany Ferretti, stand. Tiffany. Grace Frutos, stand. They came, look at the lights. Don't you love this? Look at that. That's the way you do it, Grace. Paloma Garcia. Yes. Cristina Lopez Gonzalez, stand. Yes, the entire back row. That's all Christina. Avril Hanley, stand and find your people. Wonderful. Oh, we were in the elevator together. Beautiful. Elizabeth Hernandez, stand and find your people. Woo! Woo! Victoria Hernandez. Yes, Victoria. I still miss you, Victoria. Okay. Leanne Holland, stand and find your people. Leanne. Beautiful. Robert Azim Jackson III. Yes. Beautiful. Monica Jankowski, stand and find your people. Can someone get a photo of that? You know, I have to announce and direct too. This is a lot of work, okay? In my next life, I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian. If the professoriate thing doesn't work out. Sheena Lal, stand and find your people. Lal like mall and wall and tall. That's what she said. Awesome. Mindy Levinson, stand and find your people. That whole row, Mindy. You know how to bring them out. Gina Marcel, stand and find your people. Awesome. Larilyn, Mariola Patterson, Parmsford. Yes. Stand and find. Give Mama a hug. Beautiful. Charlene Haley McNeil, stand and find your people. Wakanda forever. I see you. I see you. Hatisha Mehta, stand and find your people. Hatisha, where are you? Hatisha, are you with Brandy Davis? We're going to find you. All right. Anna Mendieta. Did I say that right? Stand and find your people. Beautiful. Casey Newen. Stand and find your people, Casey. And a very special person, Joel Lehi Organista. Stand and find your people. Take it in, Joel. Yari Patrocino. No, I'm going to do this again because names are important. Yari Patrocinio. Is that right? Yeah, find your people. This whole section. I'm glad I got the name right. I'm glad I got it right. Trevor Queen, stand and find your people. Megan Richards, stand and find your people. That's right. Mama knows Megan. Guadalupe Rivera, stand and find your people. I love your hat. Shavina Rose, stand and find your people. Shavina. Johanna Meija Salgado, stand and find your people. Yoralee Saraboya, Saravas. Help me with this. Where are you? That's exactly it. Stand and find your people. Yes. Thank you. Dana Moija Speldeda. I'm not doing so great right now. And I respect names, so Dana, please stand. Dana, where are you? Dana. We still care about you, Dana. And we congratulate you. Kara Singleton, stand and find your people, Kara. Yes. Kat Judith Martina Stevens, stand. Find your people, and I am your person too. I'm part of your people, Kat. Gadwin Stewart, you better stand up and find your people. Yes. Dong Su Su, stand up and find your people. Yes. Simong Tong, stand up and find your people. Iliana Romero, yes. And I met you yesterday. I loved you then. I love you even more today. Lu Wang, stand and find your people. Lu Wang. Lu. Ela Washington, stand. Find your people. The whole auditorium. Jeremy Watson, stand. Find your people. And last but certainly not least, unless of course I've forgotten your name, and then you will stand and we will hear your name. Erica Denise Williams, please stand and find your people. Is there anyone whose name was not called? Anderson, Anderson stands. Anderson Smith, mama and wife. Stand, please. Who did I forget? Ling Lopez, stand. Anyone else, please? Diane Elizabeth Cruz Zamora. Please stand, find your people. Yes. Maria Taja's family, stand up. Oh, they went upstairs. They wanted to make sure they had the right view. Anyone else? Anyone else? We are so happy. Congratulations from the bottom of our hearts. To the class of 2018, the distinguished first generation, stand up. We love you. Woo! Congratulations.